sampling is getting to the point where it's out of hand too. I mean, you pretty soon will be sampling the sample that was already sampled.
Somebody was joking saying Mariah Carey had sampled herself on the latest album. You know. How do you measure your success?
While there are many conflicting viewpoints on ownership and the recycling of hair, music, fashion, etc., I'd argue the reclaim of music in the form of samples, the reference to archives and creation of new fashion, and the recycling of art as a whole memorializes current trends and culture while nodding to the influence that came before us. To illustrate the necessity of the recycling of art and its contribution to the preservation of culture, I'm sharing a glass with my most sonically diverse friend to list our favorite songs and the music that laid a foundation for them. I'm your host, Toni Ade, and we're gonna need more wine. Hey, sis. So today's wine, hey girl, today's wine is a Chardonnay. It is called Chateau
Saint Michelle.
Okay, it's from Sam's Club. You know me, know I love Sam's Club. And I'm sharing a glass with my good sis, Raisa.
Yes, everyone. Hello.
Okay, let's taste the wine before we get into the video.
You know, this is a Chardonnay.
A Chardonnay,
Yeah.
Thoughts?
It's like a dry.
Yeah, it's very dry.
It's not bitter, but it's not sweet.
I think dry is the best, like, descriptive word for it.
It is dry.
It is dry,
but
it
I'm
is
more
dry.
of a sweet red.
You're more of a sweet red?
Or Moscato.
I'll keep that in mind. Y'all remind me
time,
for next time.
You know.
So as a music lover and you're very into fashion, where do you stand on the subject of ownership and recycling music and fashion and all that kind of stuff?
Honestly, I don't feel like, I just feel like we put too many rules on what we can and can't do when it comes to fashion and music.
Yeah.
Like everyone just, I feel like we're in the age of ownership. Like everyone just wants like to say, oh, I did this, give me my credit. Like, and sometimes I feel like it's okay for people to, you know, what's the word? It's okay for people to, you know, kind of mirror what you did because it's like, everybody knows that you started it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like sometimes people don't know because I was listening to a Twitter space and it was Tim's, you know Tim's, and someone asked her, they were like, oh, does it bother you that people don't know the original song sampled on Wait For You is her? But she said honestly that no, because no matter how they hear, whether they hear the original song first or Wait For You, eventually it'll find its way to them. And I think that's a beautiful way to look at it.
That's very true.
But not everyone feels that way. Even, I know you remember Blurred Lines?
Yeah.
And Marvin Gaye's estate, they sued Robin Thicke and Flo for $5 million. And that was a whole big thing. And that happens like, I love Marvin Gaye, you know what I'm saying? But Blurred Lines is a hit.
It was.
It was a hit, you know what I'm saying? And it's also it was an opportunity, I feel like.
Yeah.
But they didn't see it that way. And I feel like they have the right as well.
No, most definitely. Like, you know, you can see both sides of the coin when it comes to like people wanting their dues.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's so territorial now.
Yeah.
Like, it's so serious.
It is serious, and I don't know. I feel like sometimes as a consumer, it's easy to be on the fence.
Most definitely.
But if it was like our
we were the creators, like
sometimes people love it. They, you know, it just.
Not everybody's like that. I can see both sides of the coin, you know, but I'm all for like putting your own spin on things, like, but I do feel like you do have to pay homage, like that is important.
Okay. Do you think that sometimes the use of like samples, and not even just in music, but just like referencing any kind of art to make new art, do you think it makes you, it can make the process kind of like stifle the creative process? Or like, does it stifle the creative process or like inspire more inspiration? You know what I'm saying?
I always feel like it's an inspiring point. Like everybody gets their inspiration
from somewhere.
something.
That's true.
Like,
nothing is new under the sun.
Nothing is new.
Especially when it comes to art. Everything
Exactly.
came from something else.
Exactly.
So let's start off our review of our favorite songs and the favorite samples. If you have to spearhead this argument with one song to be an example for the use of the recycling of art and the preservation of culture, the preservation of art, what's your first song? What are you starting us with?
I'm a huge fan of Kanye West's production.
She had to.
I had to clarify.
Okay.
His production and just him as an artist, like he is just, one of the most talented
He is. We
of
can't
our
say that
time,
we're-
honestly. One song I love is Bound To
Okay.
by Kanye West, and
Okay.
it sampled the Ponderosa Twins. The
Okay.
song is called Bound. Like, it literally samples like,
Yes.
like literally like. And then Tyler the Creator also sampled it.
Okay.
It's called A Boy Is a Gun, and
Okay.
he sampled like the same snippet that Kanye sampled, and like, I don't know, I just feel like he put his own spin on it. Like, it sounds like the original,
Yeah.
but it's
He made
just
it his.
it's fresh. Like,
Yeah.
it was really like a staple for our time, because I'm pretty sure when the song came out, like, people loved it, like the
Yeah.
original by the Ponderosa Twins. But
Yeah.
when Bound To came out,
Yeah.
everybody was like, what?
So what did Bound 2 lead you to the original song, or you knew the original song
Bound
already?
2 led me to the original song, but I actually heard Bound 2 and Tyler the Creator's version first, and then I heard
Oh, wow.
then I heard
Okay.
the original, because I was like, they both sampled it, so I was
Yeah.
like, what is this sample?
Yeah.
And then it led me back to the Ponderosa Twins.
So do you think whenever you hear samples in like a subtle use, do you prefer it, or do you think you like it when it's like outright, I can hear what song came?
No, I like it. I actually like when I have to think about it, like, what song is this? Because it's really like they put their own flair on it,
Yeah.
To where you can't just call it outright, like, oh, it sampled this. Like,
Okay.
because then when you actually hear how they mix it, it's like, wait,
You
it's
made it yours.
crazy
You made it
how they
yours.
made
Yeah.
how they turned that sound into this sound.
I think a lot of the argument when it comes to sampling music, I think whenever you can like identify the sample straight away, that
Yeah.
kind of influences people to think
Yes,
it's a lazy
it's
sample.
like, oh, well, you
You're not
didn't do
trying,
anything.
yeah. But I mean, I feel like
It's not always like that.
the ability to hear something or see something and recreate it and, you know what I'm saying, repackage it, I feel like it's a skill on its own.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you can hear right away, or no, but I do agree with, I think I do like songs that creep up on me a little bit.
Yes.
One of my favorite that I'm going to lead with, I think I discussed this with you before, was Burna Boy's Mary Jane.
She put me onto that.
I love that song.
I love it.
And that song was released in, like, I think the early 2010s.
Oh, wow.
And I've known it for a minute. I didn't even catch the samples until, like, recently. And there's two
Yeah.
samples in that song.
Yes.
So Burna Boy, he sampled Rick James.
Mary
Jane, which was a hit when it was at one, and it's a hit today. I feel like
sure.
that's one of the songs that people that like leaves Rick James
Yes.
like catalog.
Exactly.
And then he also samples "Loving You," which the way he like, for you to hear those two songs and marry them and make them your own song, that is skill. That is. This, I was like, no way and for a long time I was like, wait, what am I hearing this song? It sounds so familiar. And I feel like I love whenever a song can make you feel nostalgic.
Yes. Man.
So give me a song that makes you that triggers nostalgia. Because when you heard Bound 2 and you found Bound, it's beautiful to find new music.
Yeah.
But sometimes hearing songs that take you back is even more like.
I have one.
What are you giving to me?
So mine would be Heads High. Heads High by Mr. Vegas, because I feel like Heads High, killing what they know.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like a staple of my childhood. Like, my
Okay.
parents used to play that song all the time, and y'all know I love me some Nicki Minaj. So Nicki Minaj sampled
this is a bar couch.
Okay, it's a bar couch.
It's a bar couch.
But Nicki Minaj sampled it in Megatron, and like,
Ooh,
she
I've never heard that in Megatron until you noticed it now.
Yes, she sampled a beat, but she also did like an interpolating of it, because she never said like it's not like a direct sample.
Yeah.
Like hands high, like she sampled a beat and then she sampled the melody, which is like interpolating.
Now that you say that, I can hear it.
Yes.
I feel like that speaks to like her artistry.
It does, and she pays homage to her dance hall roots all the time.
Which is interesting because people, I feel like whenever you pay more attention to music and you become an active listener, you see like the history or like the work up of a song, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy to say someone is just like they to downplay their art until you really look into it. And it's like things like, I know Spotify teamed up with like Who Sampled, sometimes they'll add, you know, so it's nice that people, or even like the Who Sampled website, all that kind of stuff, it's nice that you can like, it's easy to discover these things now because it's easy to write people off and their art off when you don't really know the creative process.
Exactly.
You know?
Agree.
That's a good sample.
I love that song.
Okay. So do you think you like it because of the crossover of culture, or like what do you think, besides it being like a staple in your childhood, do you know what I'm saying?
I love dance halls. So
Okay.
Most definitely, like a lot of people didn't like that song when she dropped it.
Megatron?
Yeah, they didn't.
I think they called it pop.
They did call it pop, but I mean, I could see how it's pop, but I feel like,
But what's wrong with that?
what is wrong with that? You know? She can run across any genre.
A pop song that she's rapping on that also has dancehall influences.
Exactly.
The crossover of culture, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what art is about.
Exactly.
I love whenever people do that. Even in J. Cole's Let Us Down, when he sampled Fela on because I heard that song for a minute, I was like, wait a minute. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is just like, you have the ear for music. Like, you really.
But wait, pause, because you have to shout out the producers. Like, honestly,
that's a big thing, because you never really know who came about it. You know? Yeah,
it's these producers that are putting in the work.
It's true.
Like,
it's true. And to weave it in so seamlessly.
Literally.
I feel like there's way more credit being shown towards the producers, the songwriters, because music is like a whole, like, it takes a team. It's not just the who we see. So I think the inclusion of samples, all that kind of stuff, isn't just always from the artist.
Yes.
Which just shows like how there's so much community behind art and music and the development of, you know?
Honestly.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I love artists, but I love producers. Like, I feel like it just takes so much craft to turn one sound into just something new, or like put your own flair on it. Like, like one of my favorite producers right now is Toni Ade.
Okay, and Toni Ade.
I love me some
Toni Ade is reference.
Yes,
is like
I love him. Like, and he's a producer turned artist, still producing, but like I love that. Like Pierre Bourne's another. That's my.
A lot of people who produce and also like create the art. Not like producing is creating the art, but you know what I'm saying. The artist and the producer, you can see the level of detail they pay. Like, even, you know who is a producer and an artist? Odusi.
Yes,
who we both love, because they know how to sample, they know how to reference, they know how to really have like layers and depth. There's a lot of depth to their music. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I feel like that's what sampling does. It adds depth to music.
Agreed. Like, Odusi, I love
Odusi. Okay, so let's get specific in our review of music. Okay. I want you to give me the samples that aided in like discovery of new music. Drake is really good for both referencing old music and also putting me onto new artists.
Yes.
Even his last album, Certified Little Boy, I came across a few artists. Namely in Fair Trade Mountains.
Okay.
You know that song, right?
Yes.
With Charlotte Day Wilson, I believe. I feel like that album led me to a lot of new artists. Snow Allegra, I think I found through Drake as well.
No, I love Snow.
I love Snow.
And she's another one.
She's a great artist. What songs did she? I don't think I've come across. What songs? I don't think they're that apparent. What if she sampled that you can put me onto?
I have to think about that.
You gotta think about it. Okay,
I have to think about that one.
But
I don't know. That's hard. I have one though.
Okay, go ahead.
So there's this one song by Theophilus London. It's called Only You.
Okay, I love Theophilus
London. So I really feel like it's almost the same as the song he sampled. But it's by a Nigerian artist. His name is Steve Monite, and the name of the song is Only You.
Oh, I want to hear that.
No, I'm gonna play it for you.
See, you two be playing with the copyright. Y'all need to.
No, like, come on, like, no, but
I actually really like songs that are almost like exactly like the same one, and just like rework it, because that is really preservation.
It is, and he put his own little jazz.
That reminds me of also on Certified Lover Boy, Race My Mind.
I wanted you to race my mind.
That is literally, whenever I found the song, I didn't even know. I think, you know what's crazy? I think whenever I found the sample for Burna Boy's Mary Jane is when I came across, Race My Baby. It's literally the same as Race My Mind.
Me, 'cause I remember last time you wouldn't make love to me. Dang, it's so fast, cause
I don't think they can sleep.
Yes.
Same exact thing.
I could say that's sampling and interpolating. Because
Yeah.
he used the melody, but then he also used
The
like
lyrics.
the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally. I think that's a great example.
I like that. I just caught that. I like that.
And it's like you can hear two songs and not
even tell.
cross-reference them until it just.
Literally.
And I love that. I love the like. I don't know. It makes music exciting.
It does. Cause it's like,
It does.
like, and I feel like that's probably like the same excitement that the artist got when they were in this.
Yeah,
video.
you know
They're
what I'm
probably
saying?
Like, bro, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
this is the same song,
Yeah.
but just a different like flair on it, like
I
a
feel
different
like-
production.
I felt that same way with one of my favorite songs by Tiana Taylor.
Which one?
Was what was it? It's Next Lifetime. You know that song?
Next Lifetime.
And she sampled Erykah Badu.
Ooh,
No, it's not. It's not Next Lifetime. It's Low Key.
Low
And then
Key.
she sampled Erykah Badu's Next Lifetime, and she had Erykah Badu on the song.
really?
Yeah.
She did have Erykah Badu on
Yes,
that song.
I love Erykah Badu, and
I
I
do
like
too.
Tiana Taylor a lot
I
as
love her
well.
music.
So hearing the song, I was like, I don't know. Whenever I find someone who uses a sample that I recognize really well, I instantly fall in the song.
Yes.
Like I don't even have to hear the chorus. As long as I hear the familiar, you know.
Yes, the melody. You're like,
I'm sold. I'm sold.
I love it. Oh, I just no, she did.
She did. She did.
I
And
love that
featuring
song.
Erykah Badu was a great touch.
It was.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
paid homage that
She
way.
paid homage. Honestly, I think when it comes to sampling and all that kind of stuff, paying homage is really one of the
is.
biggest. But some people don't care. Some people don't care. They don't want you to use their stuff.
Hey, I'm
and
not
that's their
knocking
right.
it.
That's their right.
You know,
But I feel like, good music lasts forever.
it does,
And it goes farther.
Especially when people sample you, it's timeless.
It's
like,
timeless. It's
you know?
timeless. And I found a lot of songs, like one song we both love, that is timeless. You're not gonna say. Guess what I'm gonna say?
Otis.
You see why the shirt had to match? You see how we are here?
Yes,
Otis.
we are.
You already know, right to know me. I am an oldies. I'm a quiet storm girl.
Yes, I love it.
And so Otis was already gonna be, and then the fact that I love a cross genre reference.
Yes.
Because Otis is like what? Quiet. What would you put that as?
Oh, it's kind of jazz.
It's kind of jazzy R&B.
R&B.
But
yes.
Otis by Kanye and Jay-Z is a rap song.
It's a rap
And
song.
they found a way to sample it without keeping the art's integrity
exactly
of Otis.
Literally.
And the lyrics. Let me get it right.
Oh, don't. That was a time.
That was a time. And you know what's crazy?
That was a time.
And you know what's crazy? With the use of that sample and the way they maintained the integrity, they memorialized not only Otis, the original, but also the song. Like you think back to the era of niggas in Paris. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
that was a cultural reset.
2 points in culture. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just beautiful to me. Like
I love
and that song was a song where it don't matter how long ago the song came out. When you hear that song, it's like I'm woke. I'm up. Yeah, honestly, Kanye, he know what he doing with sampling.
He does.
And I will say Jay-Z too. Jay-Z knows how to sample as well. So them two coming together on that tape.
Another one of my favorite Jay-Z samples is He sampled what? It's a hard knock life.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that. Great sample.
What? Like, I love me some Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, and he
Like-
as well. You can see the layers to his artistry in his music and all his, across his catalog, which is crazy.
Yes. Another sample that I have is Jay-Z sampled Late Nights and Heartbreak by Hannah Williams and the Affirmations.
Okay.
On his song 444. And like that was a great use of the sample, like, because it's basically the original song.
Yeah. As soon as I heard the intro, I
literally
it
like, and I love that song. That song is just
the original or both.
I love both.
Which one did you know first?
Honestly, I heard 444 first.
Okay.
And then
And
I
just the
heard Late Nights and Heartbreaks, but I like Late Nights and Heartbreaks a little bit more because it's just so, I don't know, like her voice just rings so strong.
So is there any song that you actually like more than the sample?
That's a good question.
Think about it. I will say for me, one song that I like more than the sample is Dino Litzky's Loving You, and he sampled Asa's Be My Man. I'm gonna play for you.
Please. I think I have one too.
I'll play it for you. I love Dino Litzky, and I love the fact that he sampled an African artist. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of times when people come to, well, let me not say that, but I don't know. Sometimes it does feel like people look to the West to sample.
Sure.
So I like that he looked like internally, and I didn't know that song.
Okay.
I didn't know Asa's Be My Man until I heard this. I still prefer his version. But yeah, let me play it.
But the fact that it led you back to
yeah,
another African artist
and the
is
way
so good.
yeah, and the way that he sampled it, it maintained the original song.
Yes.
Like, you can't not hear Be My Man and play the song.
Okay.
So let me play you his song.
I know this one. I know this. Okay. One song that I love, everybody loves. She's
What song?
fine too, but I want.
Is it 5-2 or 5-2?
Oh, 5-2.
Who knows the sugar this
Who knows what he said? But Lord, I Want You. He sampled True's Fondue Ballet, and it goes like You know that one?
Play it.
You know that one? I love that song. They used to play it in all, you know, the little coming of age rom-com movies. Like, yes.
You know your song is good when it's a soundtrack. It's a soundtrack to love.
You know. But this is it.
And that's so smart of Lloyd to use it.
Yes.
Because the record, smart. I know this song. Okay, yeah. I know the song. So what do you think right now in our current sonic music soundscape, what do you think is going to be the songs that are like the most samples?
Honestly, I don't think any. And you know why I say that though? that I know, right? That sounds crazy.
Sheesh.
I don't know. I just feel like music is so fleeting right now. Like I feel like it's just so fast, quick hit. Like it doesn't have time.
And stay tuned to my video on that.
You know, like I feel like it doesn't have like it's not set up.
But I mean, but at the same time though, I feel like those songs that were hits at that time, they might not have. If you ask them that at that time, they might not have known that it was gonna be
this
you don't always feel the impact of something in that time though. You don't think that? I feel like sometimes you don't feel the impact of something in its presence. You can't appreciate it because it's happening, you know, at the same time as you know?
No, for sure. I can see what you're saying, but also like think about it this way. Like a lot of the songs that we listen to now are sampled from the songs that were made in like the 80s, the 70s, 80s, 90s.
But honestly though, I don't think samples have to go far back that way.
For sure.
One sample that I really appreciated was when WizKid sampled Young Thug on Sweet One. Okay, do you know that one?
Yes,
Let me
I
play for you.
Shout out WizKid. Bro, shout out freaking More Love, Less Ego, because that album was...
I love Marvin Gaye. I'm a you know, I love me a Quiet Storm, of old.
I love Marvin Gaye.
I love Marvin Gaye. Then his estate is real stingy though. They don't play.
Man, I can understand that.
I can understand that too. But okay, so when we speak about like timelessness and preservation of art, how do you think that affects people? Like, because at the end of the day, we like people like Marvin Gaye because of the influence of our parents, we're being very honest.
Yeah.
It's not because of our own taste. Like we said, nothing is new under the sun. Your tastes are developed by like what you're exposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are lovers of Marvin Gaye and the Otis and the, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff because of what we heard, but not all our peers can appreciate that. So how do you think that kind of affects the timelessness of someone like Marvin Gaye, or, you know, even older music that we know now through sampling, all that kind of stuff? When they're not allowed to sample their music, or they're not allowed to, their estates are very like strict, which rightfully so. How do you think that affects the artistry of?
I feel like, you know, it just gets lost, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
the art that they make gets lost because it's like when you don't have like the means to like sample these things, because, you know, like they charge like ridiculous amounts just to like sample these old tunes, and it's just like when you're not able to, and when you're not able to get it cleared, it's just like people will never like be able to see like, okay,
where it came from.
I love this song, like let me do some more research to see where that sound came from.
Yeah, so sampling actually originated in the 1960s with electronic music, and then after that hip hop kind of started sampling and then became like a staple in hip hop.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how sampling started, and then at first it wasn't really an issue, and then labels started to recognize that we can make money
any way to make money.
And that's when all of the restrictions came with sampling. And like I mentioned before, Marvin Gaye's estate sued for $5 million. Not everyone has and that was not even like a clearance thing. That was a suit because you weren't cleared type thing. So we don't know how much it costs to be cleared, but it definitely does, you know what I'm saying, like it does affect like the artistry and the repurposing of art, and it's like, it's discouraging because not everyone can pay for that. I think even, I think it was Babytron or some artist the other day, he didn't get his work cleared, so he put it on YouTube. Because he couldn't put it out on like Apple and Spotify, so he has to like, you know, but I feel like it's their right, but what is the end goal?
Honestly,
what is the end goal? I mean, but sometimes it's not even about the money because they don't want it sampled at all.
But why though? You know? Why?
Artists,
you guys answer.
Feel free to share a glass and tell me why.
And tell us. Please.
But I feel like the same thing for art. I mean, not art, but same thing for fashion sometimes too. People don't like the idea that someone is kind of like, they see it as like you're fighting, kind of like gatekeeping.
But why do you think people gatekeep so much and are so territorial?
But I think it's just because they feel like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times in these industries, people get, you know what I'm saying, like played.
Yeah.
A lot of times the originator is lost.
Put on the back burner.
On the back burner, especially whenever you're from a minority group, if you're a woman. It's not rare, you know what I'm saying? We see all the time, even with the whole thing with Khalees and Beyonce. And if you look at Khalees' history, look at the history of Khalees and her career in the industry. She was exploited by many different people on her camp.
That I love the Neptunes, but the fact that Khalees' freshman album is so good. Like, I still listen to the album to this day. Like, that album was so good, but the fact that like they exploited her like that,
and so you can't blame her whenever the whole thing
she got
with
so
Beyonce.
mad at Beyonce.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
you can't really. Of course, she's gonna be territorial over her work when, in her past as a black woman, she's been exploited and manipulated by people who she trusted with her art. Honestly. So I definitely understand why people gatekeep and kind of are territorial over their stuff, because it's not about the longevity for them. It's about credit and respect.
You know, music invokes different feelings in like everyone. Like, you know, some people when they hear songs like that, you know, it puts them in like a sad place, like in their feelings. But for some people, it's just so like, joyful, like uplifting, like it's just warm, you know.
And I love whenever like the music I'm hearing, like what the artist was feeling translates to like in the song, and you can like, they transfer almost. Distant Lover, it translates like the like longing for someone, and even if you never longed for someone, you can feel that
exactly
when you hear that song. You don't have to have experience, and I think that's why I love music, and I think that's why I specifically love like oldies, R&Bs,
Yeah.
the Quiet Storm, because they really you feel what they felt in that studio.
Yeah.
When they were writing that song, you feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, and with sampling too, it's like you feel it, and you honestly you get their perspective.
Very nostalgic.
Because like the same way you said, some songs people feel pain and they feel love. You can see from their perspective of who samples it. Like in Spaceships, you can see what he felt from the song.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What emotion did it evoke in him?
Exactly. And let me play Spaceships so y'all can hear that one.
Okay.
I love me some Kanye. Like,
yeah, honestly, producers turned artists, they be deep in their
they're
bag.
always like,
They be deep in their bag.
shout out Pierre one more time. Because I love Pierre. Like, I love Pierre.
I need to listen to his catalog more. I like, the song I like by him is,
He's a
I got
lover.
something for you
if you want it. I love him.
Let's hear Spaceships. I don't think I know this song.
This is off of Graduation, I think.
Music is all a cycle.
I'm telling you.
We can end it right here. Y'all get the point.
You see?
But art is cyclical.
Yes.
And
All a cycle.
it's all a cycle. So
It all comes full circle.
don't fight your inspiration.
Don't be afraid to try new things.
Don't be afraid to try new things and let previous works inspire you. That's what they're for, honestly.
Agreed.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We're getting more wine. I'm Toni Ade.
I'm Raisa. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Bye. Cheers. And shout out to Sam's Club. Good
Shout out.
wine.
Okay.
Okay.